seniors. Long time no see. A long time you no see me. So, welcome to your reading. Today we're gonna do a seniors collective reading, and this here tells us what God wants to talk about. And in this deck, we'll find out what God wants us to know about that thing. Okay? So, without further delay, let's see. What does God want to talk to you about today? The seniors of our class. So if this was a school, you'd be like university level. And what are we? College. And then the youngers are preschool and middle school. Alright. So, for our seniors, what does your God want to talk to you about today? Two more times, because we want to get all the details. We shuffle thoroughly. All right. So just before I move on, if you are from the adult section of our group, yeah, I want you to know that no news is good news. If God has not inspired me to do a reading for you guys, then that means that you're doing fine. Okay? We do have the other readings, the love, the personal development readings, the family circle, all those other ones. So with that collection, you should be able to get a good view of how your life is going, what's happening, possibly what you need to do and stuff like that. Okay? So, because I know I haven't done one of these for you guys in a long time, but I only do readings when I feel called to do them. Okay? There's no need in forcing any information on anybody when they don't need it. And plus, I get to preserve my energy and do other things. So, seniors, back to you guys. Let's see, what does God want to talk to you guys about today? Okay, we're not gonna do this. Most High, please let the energy flow. If there's somebody trying to block it, just bypass them and let's do what we've come here to do. Thank you. Interesting. I just heard hanging there. So the lesson there that God wanted to highlight for you guys, the lesson that God wanted to highlight for you guys is when you're trying to achieve something and you pray and it doesn't happen right away, hang in there. It's not time to cuss. It's not time to feel defeated or feel ignored. Just wait. Keep going. So there's nobody blocking this reading. God is trying to use this shuffle to teach us something. Just wait. And this is when, by this time, we start getting upset with God. And look at that. All of a sudden, it's here. All right, so let's see what God will talk about today. Want to talk about your self-worth. So this is all about how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, how much you value yourself, how much you allow other people's opinions of you to affect you, how much you allow the opinions of this society to affect your overall existence. Because we've been taught by dummies. Is that a lie? This society is run by a bunch of dummies. And when we listen to them and believe everything they're telling us, when we listen to them and believe that life is all that they are showing us life is, we become dummies too. Okay. So the underlying issue here is your dreams. Your dreams is the vision that you have in your mind for yourself, which is a lot of the time outside of the box that people have built for you, that this society has built for you. You are who you say you are in your dream life, in your thought life. The problem comes in when we allow the outside voices to deter us from going after those things that we see in our mind for ourselves. Don't be disheartened. We were fooled. But you see, from this generation, it's a next kind of vibe that's coming in. We're going to be seeing the lies that they have placed upon us. And we're going to be correcting them from this generation. A lot of things are going to change from this time forward. It's already begun. A lot of people, old and young, are waking up and starting to actually think for themselves. And they're actually pulling their confidence from wherever the hell it is hiding straight to the forefront so that they could use their confidence to be who they feel they should be, in spite of what anybody and everybody have to say. I'm sorry, this is something that I'm very passionate about, okay? Because I have been fooled too. And thank God I've had the wisdom to be able to know that I was fooled, and therefore I am now awakening. And I have to train myself not to be angry about it because it doesn't make any sense. It's like, let me just pick up the pieces and move on in it. But now because I have to tell other people about it too, they kind of bring out the girl in me, right? So yeah. So you are who God put in your heart to be. This society teaches about the 9-to-5 life. It's the way how they have the system set in it. That's what has deterred a lot of us because of the demands on us. It has directed our path. And in most people's cases, it's directed us away from what we see within our mind and in our heart for ourselves. But it's correction time. Like I keep on telling you guys, forget how old you are. Forget your age, because that's a lie too. We do not only get 70 to 80 years. You know what little we will have accomplished in 70 to 80 years. And you know what I noticed, right? Look at the cycle. So we got our 70 to 80 year olds, right? Imagine how much life they have lived and how much things they have seen and have seen. How much things they have seen and have learned about life, right? And because they get to this stage now, their body gets weaker because they're not as active. They're not as pretty as they used to be because their muscles in their face are so relaxed that now it starts to sag. They hardly smile, so there's no muscle. They don't sing, they don't smile, they don't talk, you know. So the face just get really relaxed. And then comes the wrinkles. Okay, so they're basically too inactive. So then that makes them feel unhappy because they look at themselves and they remember who they used to be. But you see, this society didn't teach us about exercising our face to keep our muscles toned, which will then keep our skin stiff, you know? But anyway, I've said that to you guys a lot of times. But yeah, so imagine a 70 to 80-year-old and how much they have learned and stuff like that, right? And then, we have this gap between the generations. So it's like the 70 to 80-year-olds, they get cast aside as if they're so unimportant and have no value. When we have the thing mixed up and wrong. Because this is how it's supposed to work. See, you guys have already come. You've done it. Where it says, seen that, done that, bought the t-shirt. That's where you go. Something like that. Okay? Now, what happened is, because there's a gap between the generations, the same lessons that you came and learned, we have to now come and learn it because we're not talking to you. We're not utilizing you in the way that you should be utilized. We're not valuing you or seeing your value the way that we should be seeing your value. So with each generation, it's like starting all over again, making the same silly mistakes, falling in the same stupid pits. When what it's supposed to be is each generation is supposed to teach the one that's coming after. So that with each generation, we become a more advanced race. We become a more advanced people. Why? Because although some of the young people may make some of the same mistakes, we won't sit in it as long as you had to, because we have the gift of being forewarned or foretold. So when we see these things happening, we know, oh, that's what grandma or grandpa or auntie or uncle was telling me about. And then instead of having to bump our head in the dark over and over again to learn the lesson, we will have progressed a lot faster. Then we can move on to more lessons. You see? So, yeah, we have this thing so messed up, but these are the kind of values that should be taught as standard. But no, this society don't do that. No. Anyway. So the underlying issue is your dreams. Seeing yourself how God sees you. Seeing yourself as who you've always seen and wanted yourself to be. Okay? Your self-worth. After dreams, we have awakening. But then after that, we have aptitude, and it's in the reverse. So aptitude is one's natural ability to do something. But in the reverse, it's saying that you feel like you can't. And the way how they set this society, for a while that was true, but it's no longer true. So we're going to flip that around. Now that you're retired, now that all of your time is yours to spend and live as you choose, it's time that you start to make your dreams come true. It's time that you start to become who God has called you to be many, many years ago, instead of being who society has forced you to be. Like having children at a young age, having more than one that you can't manage, having like 2-3 children, all these things that we did in our life that was out of sync with who we were truly called to be. All these things is what steered us away from recognizing our true self-worth. But that's because we were either too stubborn or didn't have the right teachers. We didn't have the right teachings. Okay? So now is not the time to feel that you're not able to do it. Forget time. Forget how old you are. Forget what they taught you about age. Forget what they taught you about health. Start actually taking care of yourself and you will see. Look, you got listening. Yeah, man, God has been opening my eyes. Look, it's time for rejuvenation. I don't care how old you are. I may sound crazy, But every genius sound crazy to people who don't see the vision first before they start to see exactly what the genius been trying to tell them all along. Then it's like, oh, yeah. Now it's not time to be wishy-washy. Now it's time to recognize who you've always known you should be and start going after it. Wherever you drop, you stop. But at least, if sickness want to come and get you, if death want to come and get you, it should come and find you going after your dreams. It should come and find you living. It should come and find you trying. That's my personal view, and that is how I'm going to live my life, because I'm going to be 300 years old and still look like this. I did not stutter. Death is not natural. Aging is not natural. We increase in experience, we increase in time. Aging is not natural. Deterioration. For the breaking down of ourselves, God has provided us with so many wonderful foods. Our food is our medicine. But this is another thing that society, who has taken the power to govern us, didn't bother to tell us, because their thing is money first. They prefer to see us at the pharmacy than to see us at the farmer's market. We are being governed by people that don't love us. We are being governed by people who don't want the best for us. We are being governed by people who have been lying to us and deceiving us, who have been confusing us and straying us away from the truth. For 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 years and counting. They don't know what they're doing. And when they do know what they're doing, if it conflicts with their desire for money or their ability to earn, yeah, just know that we are not going to get the truth. They prefer lie to us, confuse us, so that they can make the money. They don't care about making us healthy, wealthy, and wise. Are you mad? We can't be on the same level with them. You think they eat all this genetically modified foods? They don't eat genetically modified foods. They don't wear synthetic fabrics. But in spite of all that, God is good. God makes and breaks the rules. So don't think that because they put chemtrails in the sky and they do things to our water and put things in our food and all them things, that mean that they win. God makes and breaks the rules. Now is the time to know that you are loved. And God will move the earth, sun, moon, and stars, and all the haters, all the wicked people that's been deceiving us out of the way to bless us. That's what time it is. So let's see, what else does God want us to know about your self-worth. And I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm saying. It's just that most time people don't talk about it in public because they suffer you. When you talk against their horrible system, they start suffering you. They already suffering me. So let me talk. I will do the talking for everybody. Yeah. It's a small price to pay. They say Jesus come and do it for us. Jesus come and sacrifice himself for us to learn the truth. Somebody else got to do it. Martin Luther King come and sacrifice himself for us to learn the truth and live free. Marcus Garvey come and sacrifice himself for us to learn the truth of our value and for us to live free. You see me? Harriet Tubman help as well. And I don't know a lot of the names, but you understand where I'm going with this. So in every generation we have a few who are not afraid to stand up and speak up and pay the price. Because look how many people are blessed by what Martin Luther King did. Look how many people know and understand them black self because of what Marcus Mosiah Garvey did. Black pride, white pride, yellow pride, brown pride. All of we should be prideful. One more. You are loved. God loves us. Even them bad people who deceive us, God loves them too. So what more does God love us, who are the victims of the system? Let's see, what does God want you to know? So we've got balanced spirituality and practicality. Indeed. So let your spirit life and your real life come into sync. Do not pay more attention to one than the other. So this talking about your practicality would be all the elements that have made you who you are up to date. Let me say that again. The practicality is talking about the physical elements that were present, which have made you who you are today. The spirituality is who you actually are and who you were actually supposed to be. So now is the time for you to bring the two into sync. Like I said, now you have the time to set your own schedule and do whatever you want to do with your time. Your time is absolutely yours to spend as you see fit. God says now is the time to go after your dreams. Balance your spirituality, how you see yourself, and your practicality, your reality. Bring them into sync and work through your fears. Work through your fears. So that means it's not going to be an easy ride, because we're going against the grain. We're going against the norm. You have to, because at your age, you're supposed to be sitting in chair somewhere, knitting the rest of your life away, being bored, begging to see your grandkids, burdened by all the mistakes that you've made in the past. Have so much time to think about the bullshit that it just makes you sad, and you smile less and less and less. And nobody comes to see you, and that just breaks your heart. Fuck all that. It's time for you to make a life of your own. The less people you have in your life is the more time you have to build yourself. So you could either sit and worry about all the different parts of your life that's not going how you want it to go. You can sit and worry about all the things that didn't go how you wanted it to go. You can sit and worry about the mistakes that you made and the wrong things that people did to you and let that shit bring you down. Or you can remember what you wanted to do with your life when you were, say, 16 to 20 years old. What did you want to do with your life when you were a child? Because you know, when we're children, that's when we're in our natural form. Whatever talents you had when you were a child, that's what you were naturally created to do. And if you had stayed on that path, you would be a genius. You would be exceptional right now. Because imagine how much practice you will have had. Or just be whoever God is calling you to be right now. A lot of you will definitely make great counselors. And I'm telling you, if your grandchildren and your nieces and nephews don't value your opinion, if they don't value your wisdom, if they don't value your presence, put your ass on YouTube, make your own channel, because there's a lot of us out here who would value you. A prophet has no honor in their own land a lot of the time. Do not let yourself wither away. Life goes on and 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 on. Life is infinite. Life wasn't made to finish. God created us to love God. Why would God make the whole world die and get demolished? For what? We're not that horrible. And just like how God didn't destroy the land if there's one person in there who loves God, I'm sure there's more than one person who loves God on whatever land you're on. So God definitely not going to destroy it. So you need to take on a mindset of life goes on, and so will I. The mistakes that you made, the wrong that people did you, all those things were lessons. Lessons that you learned from, and lessons that you can actually share with the rest of the world for us to learn from. You're not allowed to die. You're not allowed to go anywhere. We need you. You're supposed to be right here playing your role, and I'm glad for www.thenet. Because now, instead of wasting your breath on this person and that person, you come on YouTube, you make your channel, let somebody help you set it up. You make your channel, you press record, and you upload it. Whoever it's meant to reach, let it reach them. And if you can set up your channel that you can make some money off of YouTube, do that. And use your money however you like. Life goes on. Life goes on. And on. And on. And on. They lied to us. It's not natural to be all wrinkly. Anytime you're wrinkly, it means you're not doing enough exercise. That's what that means. Simple like that. If it's a sickness that's making you can't move, then that's understandable. Because I already decided when I'm 300 and beyond, I'm going to look like this. But you know, sometimes sickness may come upon me and it may make me get all wrinkly. But when I get better, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start to do my exercises and make my skin come back nice and firm and fit again. You eat healthy, you keep stressful people out of your life, you stay away from stressful situations, you hydrate your body with the water. All the time that we have, we should be spending on nutrition, learning proper nutrition. Like, we have a body, we don't even know how to treat it. It's time that we start to pay attention to the things that are fundamental, the things that are foundational, because if your body is no good, then the rest of your life will fall apart. So we need to learn how to look after ourselves. We have to learn what to eat, when to eat it, how much, how it should be prepared. Okay? What to stay away from. Probably even understand how the moon affects our body, how the sun affects our bodies. There's so much that we should be paying attention to, but our society doesn't teach us to. And that's why we're so far behind. But we can do it. Now that we know that we should be paying attention to treating our bodies better, we can do it. Because it's like, how come some people are, say, 80 years old and look like they're like 40 or 50 years old, and some people are 80 and look like you could call them 100? It's illness or a lack of proper self care. That's what makes people ugly. Because you got some people that's let's say some people that's 30 and look like they're about 50. Some people that's 20 and look like they're about 30, 39, 40 years old. It's because they probably drink too much, they don't get enough rest, they live a wild life, they have a lot of crazy people in their life that keep them stressed. They're poor communicators, so their problems, even if it's a small problem, they get expanded as if it's a whole, how they say, turn a molehill into a mountain, you know? All of these are the things that we should be paying attention to, so that we can continue to look young, continue to feel at peace, continue to feel and experience happiness, be vibrant, be mobile, be agile. Yeah. My grandma, she is in a home now, but let's say like 2 years before going into the home, my grandma was quite fine. She was walking around doing the things that she have to do in her house. But the thing is, how they spend their spare time is sitting down in the chair watching TV, listening to the preachers on the thing. Now it's good to listen to the preachers, but you could have been walking, you could have been, I don't know, buy a treadmill and put it in your house. If you were staying active, then you would still have great strength. But she spent most of her time, she and her husband spent most of her time sitting down. Then they end up with their foot swelling up, swelling up, swelling up, right? Because there's no proper circulation. And she was doing fine. She could still walk and things like that. But then she went into the home, and within 2 years, my grandma, who was probably, I don't know, about 200, I would say she was about 200 pounds, 200 and maybe 240 pounds, I would say. She was like probably two and a half of me. And now my grandma smaller than me after 2 years. Why? Because of depression. They put them in the home, and it's not a good life, you know? But you see, that's what happens when you have children who don't value you. Because there's no way that if I had the power that my grandmother would have ended up in another damn home. Never. So you see, when I behave how I behave, when I'm talking about these things, it's personal for me. It's personal for me. Because the grandmas are supposed to be alive so that they can enjoy their grandbabies, their great grandbabies, their great great grandbabies, and grandma, so great grandma supposed to be looking good and still walking around and doing things. That's the vision that I have. That's how I see life. That's how it's supposed to be. You know how much people up in the hills, probably in a China and like India and those kind of places, that's just, they'll probably tell you, I'm 250, and you might look at them and laugh and say, what a stinking liar. But because of their culture, because of their belief system, because of what they put their time and attention to, they could be telling the truth. It is quite possible that they're telling the truth. To become 1,000 years is supposed to be nothing. Because it's like, let's say you're 70 years old. Like, what have you seen? What have you experienced? Very little. Is that what life is supposed to be about? We come, we work, we make children, we get married, we argue and cuss, we make mistakes, we correct some of them, and then we die alone? Does that sound like something that a loving God would design? for its creation. We got trees that last till they're like a whole 1,000 years old and change. Trees just go on living. And God said we at the top of the kingdom. The animal kingdom. We at the top of the kingdom. Like, we are most important of all the things that it made. Let's say it like that. That's what the Bible says anyway. So if God will grant a tree 1,000 years plus and counting, probably got alligators and whatnot that just they're very, very old and ancient. Why should we settle for 80 years old and think that that's the truth? The theory don't make any sense. It's lies. Because I started going gray when I was 28 years old, and that was due to stress. And from the time I realized that it's stress that's causing that, I stopped stressing. And it was man stress. And then what happened is I thought to myself, oh, so he want to stress me out and make me look old and decrepit, and then he go and find some sexy young thing, and that's what encouraged me to stop stressing about man problem. Because my beauty need to be preserved. I will be beautiful whether I with you or not. At 28 years old, that's how God programmed me to talk to myself. And this is me at 42. And this is how much gray hair I have so far. So for say that I start going gray at 28 and I only have this many, I think I'm handling all my stresses well. And I do have many big stresses. Many big stresses. I don't look like what I am going through. But it's by the grace of God. We need to form a partnership with God and live. God will help you work through your fears. Don't listen to the talk of people around you who don't believe what you believe in. Make sure you know what you believe in. And make sure that you give life to what you believe in, not what society say. We've been giving our power away for almost the entire of our life, the entirety of our life. It's time to stop. It's time to turn this ship around. Look, the underlying issue of what God wants you to know is us surrendering to the divine. It starts with God. Form an alliance with God if you never formed one before, and let God guide you back to health, back to youth, back to vitality, back to being valuable, back to not caring if anybody come and visit you, not caring if anybody like you, because you're living your best life. And it's better to be alone than to be unhappy. God is enough. Sometimes God is all that we have. You spent enough time in the earth to know that it is true. You don't have to worry about your children them coming to see you because they don't value you. They don't know your importance. Look after yourself. Make yourself strong. Keep yourself strong. Live. If you have to create a club where you can get people of your age to come and congregate so that you guys can meet one another and share stories and experiences. You're keeping a distance because people nowadays they kind of screwy in the brain. But it's nice to socialize, play some music, drink a few drinks, dress up nice, go outside, smell nice, meet a few people and go back to your yard. See you again next weekend. We have to make life what we want it to be. Yeah, we can't just sit around and say, what a dreary life. Who made it dreary? We make it dreary by not doing anything with it. Life is what we make it. Only what we put in, we're going to get out. If you have a desire for something and you depend on someone else to make it happen, when it does not happen, who is to blame? God gave you the idea for a reason. Stop allowing how society taught you to think to stop you from living. Stop Stop allowing how other people around you think to stop you from living. Be an inspiration. Be the Marcus Garvey of the elderly. Be the Martin Luther King of the elderly. Take charge. Be the first, or the first of a few, to be made into a many. It's going to become common practice soon enough. So much people look for this fountain of youth. Fountain of youth is all about how we treat ourselves, how we treat our body. That's where the fountain of youth is. Move it or lose it. That's what's going on. You don't move it, it just starts to shrivel up. Shrivel up. Shrivel up. It's like a raisin or a grape. Just put the grape to sit down there and see if the grape don't just get dry out. Because you're not giving it no nutrition. The conditions is making it dry. But put that grape in some water and see how it fall back out. Hydration. Look after your body. Keep the blood flowing. Keep your mind active. Download some games. Get your mind active again. Start slowly. Whatever you choose to do, start slowly. But keep going. Start slowly, but keep going. Don't watch time. Go at your own pace, go at your own speed, but keep going. Become in love with yourself again. Become in love with life again. Because life never stops. You stop. Because society taught you to stop. Society teaches you to prepare for death, but the philosophy is to prepare for life. If you're done by your plot where you want to be buried, you won't be using that for a very long time, and that should be okay with you. You don't need to. You're going to have a new family, you're going to have new goals, you're going to have new life if you choose to believe what God is saying to you here with this reading. God says give life to the dreams. Revive them. Pour some water on those seeds and watch them sprout even now in this age. You could be 90, you could be 100. You could be 110. Yes, God is talking to you. Age is nothing but a number. It's how you look after your vessel that count. And if you're 102, baby, you need to start a 102 club. And if you walk with a walker, push on your walker and dance with your walker until your foot them get strong enough. Soon you won't even want the walker anymore. A lot of things in this society is going to change. Because imagine if so many people from these nursing homes start to regain their strength and regain their vitality. What is Babylon going to do then? What's the system going to do then? But you know, it doesn't matter what they're going to do because God got plans too. God has plans for you too. So, as usual, look, coming next, surrender to the divine, and it's time to take action. God is giving you a second opportunity at life, the life that you want this time. You won't be making any babies to come in the way. You won't be marrying any of the wrong people to pull you back, slow you down. Do you know what I'm saying? You'll be aware of the friends that you choose to connect with. You got so much wisdom now at this stage of your life. It's the perfect formula to implement if only you would put some action with it. But it starts with you regaining your strength, regaining your health, improving your health. So good luck. And of course, I'll be back. God says the answers you need are coming, so don't worry about anything. So this is surrender to the divine, because it's time to take action, and the answers you need are coming. Nothing will come of this situation. Let's read on, see what the underlying issue is. A new romantic cycle begins. Okay, so if you stay in the energy that you're in right now, God said, you put in nothing, you will get nothing. But a new romantic cycle begins. A new life. God is giving you a new opportunity, a second chance. Amaze everybody. Amaze your children who write you off and think that. One more thing I need to talk to you people about. You see this inheritance thing? I don't trust it, and I don't think that you should trust it either. You know how many people just wait for their elders? Do I need to finish that sentence? Children should be taught to make their own way through life. If you really want to help your children, do not train them to be dependent on you and what you have accumulated in your lifetime. A lot of things need changing, you know. A lot of things we need to change. Life insurance is like putting a bullseye on your back. I don't even want to say the things that I need to say right now. I pray that God give you guys the wisdom. Like God said, the answers you need are coming. Because imagine, if you're one of the unfortunate ones who have some kind of a grandchild or child that's waiting for you to exit this realm so that they can have what you have accumulated. If they see you regaining your strength, then that is another set of problem. And these are the kind of stupid things that we have to deal with. So, new life, new problems. So you thought that the story was over. The story is not over. So to those of you who take this opportunity at New Life, I do pray that you keep God as your guide and expect miracles. God will move the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the gun, the knife, the poison, the government, the wicked nurses, the wicked doctors, everything out of your way to bless you. You've lived long enough to see some things, some beautiful things, some miraculous things. It can happen again. God didn't go anywhere. God is still right here, working the same miracles. And when it's your turn, you will have your miracle again. And again and again and again. So keep having faith in God and what God can do. This is a new era. We're rewriting the rules. They say Adam was like 960 years old when he died. 900. What the hell happened to mankind that now we marvel at making it to 80? 960 years old. 80 years old. Life has just begun. You're still babies at 80. You're the senior of our group, but you're still babies. You're Still babies. Your babies to those who are actually like 300, 400, 500 years old in the mountains of China and India and Japan and wherever else they're hiding from this stinking society. Yeah. So anyway, live on, man. Live long and prosper. All right. So I look forward to hearing beautiful reports. I look forward to crying when I see the videos of our seniors, the elders, making moves and living life and, you know, just keep on keeping on. Yeah. I appreciate that. And thank you to all those who have the courage to make it happen. We appreciate you. Until next time, my loves. Take care.